Today I'm going to be making spicy chicken McNuggets. Here I have 3/4 of a pound of boneless, skinless chicken breast, and I'm just going to cut them into manageable size pieces. And now I'm going to add to my food processor. You could also cut and chop this by hand. You'll just want to cut and chop until it is minced. Now I'm adding 1 teaspoon of soy sauce, some white pepper, you could use black pepper. I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of celery salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. I'm also adding a pinch of sugar, maybe 1/4 teaspoon of sugar, and a heaping tablespoon of cornstarch and 1.5 tablespoons of water. And I'm just going to process this. Okay, so my chicken is ready. So now what I'm going to do is shape them into little nuggets. You could do the boot shape, the bell shape, it's however you like. And you should be able to get somewhere between 12 to 15 nuggets out of this. Had I made them a bit thinner and flatter, I probably could have got 15. But here I have 12. I'm covering them with cling film and I'm going to put them in the freezer for about 30 minutes or until they get solid. So here for the wet batter, I'm going to start with 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour with 1/4 cup of cornstarch, and I have a variety of seasonings. Here I have salt, chicken bouillon powder, onion powder, paprika, and cayenne pepper. I sort of eyeballed it, but I will put exactly what I used in the description below. As you can see, I'm adding more paprika. I'm going to add more cayenne, and I ended up adding extra cracked black pepper and a little more chicken bouillon powder, and I'm just going to give that a mix and combine well. Now I'm going to add 1 large egg, add that into the mixture, and I'm also going to add 1/2 cup of cold water. It'll be 1/2 cup plus a tablespoon or 2. You really want this pancake batter consistency, and this is going to be the wet batter. So my nuggets have frozen. I actually let them go for an hour, so they really are frozen, but 20 to 30 minutes in a cold freezer should do the trick to make them solidify. So now I'm going to dredge them in some cornstarch. I just added 1/4 cup of cornstarch to a plate, and I'm just going to make sure I dredge them and coat them in this cornstarch. This will help the wet batter adhere to them. Okay, so here I'm preheating my fry oil, and I just put a wooden spoon. If it starts to bubble around the handle of the wooden spoon, it's to fry temp, but you'll want to at least bring your temperature to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm taking my dredged nugget and I'm going to add it right into my wet batter. And from the wet batter, I'm going to add it to my preheated fry oil. And I'm going to do this in batches. If I had to guess, I have at least 3/4 of an inch to an inch of fry oil in my deep pan here. So you will need to fry your chicken McNuggets until they start to float. They get a deep golden brown color. Mine are frozen salads, so the fry time is going to vary. It might take a little longer, maybe somewhere between 5 to 6 minutes. And as you can see, they'll sink to the bottom of the oil, but as they cook and fry, they're going to start floating to the surface. And that's a good indication that they're about done. So here they are floating on top. They're a nice golden brown color. So I'm going to remove them and add them to a baking sheet with a wire rack and let them hang out until I'm done frying all of my McNuggets. By the way, I will link somewhere in this video my last chicken McNuggets recipe for the plain ones, but I also made a homemade sweet and sour sauce. So if you want to check that out, click on the link here in the video or I'll put it below. So now that my nuggets are ready, my spicy McNuggets, I'm going to give them a try. I hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you like it, and thanks for watching!